Hey everybody, it's Peter here with GoodyReader.com. So today we're not going to look at too much software elements. We're mostly going to look at hardware and just the screen resolution and quality of this device. Going through all the hardware stuff, the software stuff would just be kind of like, oh, this turn pages, so does this. This you can do fonts, so does this. We're not going to do that. If you want to look at that, watch the individual reviews of each one. So we have the Kobo Clara HD on the right, brand new, and we have the Kobo Touch 2.0 on the left. And we're comparing these two because they're the closest in size and shape and release dates. So we'll look at the Kobo Touch 2.0 first. The logo has been overall increased from this to this because you can see that you can actually see it now. There was just a slightly little embossed logo on the back, on the bottom there. On the top you have a really large power button. You don't have physical page turn buttons or anything like that. And on the bottom you have a hard reset and a micro USB cable. The back is a very hollow feeling plastic that does not give you a lot of grip. It's actually quite gripless. However, there's virtually no fingerprinting on this style of plastic, so that's really nice. As you can see, during this line of devices, Rakuten was isolated to the very bottom of the device in this little thumbnail, whereas Kobo had front and center real estate. If you see on the newest line of devices, Rakuten occupies more real estate with both their writing and their logo than Kobo does. Up here you do get a lot of fingerprinting like you see there. Down here, not so much. It does vanish quite easily, and the grip is amazing on the Kobo Clara HD. You do have this kind of perforated leather looking feel to it. It is plastic, of course. Nothing on the sides. The top as well, super clean. On the bottom you do have your very wide power button and your micro USB port. So you can see the corners have been rounded. When you hold an e-reader, you hold it like so, and you can see on the 2.0 it does dig into your hand a little bit. It's not a piece of lead, it's not heavy, it's not dense, it's not the biggest issue, but you do notice an overall ease of feeling when you're holding this one because it is more rounded. You do lose a couple degrees of pointiness, so it does hold much better than it did on the 2.0 being sharp. You can see how much more rounded that is. Look at the difference. It's a little bit hard to see on camera, but in person, if I can guarantee you guys, if you look at the Clara, everything is super rounded and completely clear. It is fantastic. The Kobo Touch 2.0 is showing its age. You can see that everything's really fuzzy and the curves are not as smooth all the way through on the P's and the E's and the O's and stuff like that. We're not going to do page turns or anything like that. We're strictly showing you guys the quality of the screen. Even when you go to the top corner and press everything, you can see how large this is and how faded and blurry it is. It's the same amount of options on the Clara, but the beauty about the Clara and why it's such more of a high resolution feel is that everything's smaller, so it gives you the illusion that you're actually using a much bigger device than it is. It's only 6-inch, both of these are, but you can just see the word help, the word settings, and look at it on here. It's very 2018, and you are seeing a very 3 or 4 year old device on the left here. It's just super evident when you start to really go through everything and see the blacks and see, the images on the device, and just it's showing its age. It really is, and this is a very evident side-by-side. The Kobo Touch 2.0, as you can see right here too, is prone to a lot more staining even when you do refresh the screen. It's in between refreshes you do have a lot of staining. You can see the menu is still there and up top, whereas the Clara is a lot less prone to that page by page. Reality of it is, when you're using the Clara HD, it really trumps its previous devices that are in the 6-inch realm, and we all thought that the Clara would be a much smaller device like the Mini 2, but they ended up coming out with a 6-inch, and at first I was like, oh man, I'm disappointed it wasn't smaller, but after using this and seeing its previous editions of 6 inches, this blows it out of the water. Quality-wise, build-wise, screen resolution wise, it is such a 2018 style device, whereas any previous Kobo, it is just immediately evident when you put it side by side. It's all good like that. Second you bring the Clara to the game, you're like, oh man, put your hand over this one. So anyways, for GoodyReader.com and comparison between the Clara HD and the Kobo Touch 2.0 Kobo Rakuten devices, this is Peter.